Hi, I'm Dr. Robert Lowe, Medical Director here at Columbus Fire. Today we want to introduce you to a new concept, a new capability, with special thanks to City Council for the funding and the opportunity to take on a project such as this. We've combined the REACT and Spark teams that you may know under the umbrella of something called outreach medicine. And within outreach medicine, this project that we're talking about is something called the ARV, or Alternate Response Vehicle. Again, through the generous funding from City Council, this capability has allowed us to do some very unique things. In a minute, we're going to give you a tour of the vehicle. We're going to kind of let you talk to some of the users of the vehicle and how that works. But basically, we're able to take on the opportunity to support the right response unit with mental health transfers in a more therapeutic environment, if you will. Something that's comfortable for patients and comfortable for our providers. But in addition, this vehicle has allowed us to do things such as medication-assisted treatment for overdose and specifically for withdrawal. It's allowed us to provide an atmosphere where we can intervene with our clients, our people in need, in a more therapeutic environment, a more private environment to be able to do assessments or conversations. And then ultimately, it's a resource for any of our outreach medicine. And you'll see some of the QR codes and the availability for just the general public who happens to see the vehicle out and about to connect with resources and opportunities provided by Columbus Fire, but also by all of our partners in the community who support this kind of outreach medicine work. So join us, let's take a tour.
Hi, I'm Brian Tolojeski, paramedic and firefighter with Outreach Medicine, Columbus Division of Fire. Got 22 years on the division, and today we're going to go over the alternative response vehicle where we transport individuals to healthier environments, or an extension of our REACT team. So saddle up and let's go have a nice little tour here. As far as staffing of the team, it is myself. Again, I'm a paramedic firefighter and then a police officer. We are both crisis intervention trained, so we have those additional certifications to us. As far as the back of the vehicle goes, it's much like our transport medics. We carry a small complement of EMS supplies. We have our first in bag, which is for quick evaluations. We can do blood pressures, blood sugar checks, temperature, pulse rate, and all of that. We also carry an automated external defibrillator. So if we run into an instance where that's going to be like an unconscious or a heart attack victim, we are able to start treatment that way until more resources get on scene. One special thing that we do on our truck is we carry water, we carry hand warmers, we carry snack bags because we encounter a lot of homeless individuals and sometimes someone just needs something to drink, something to eat, and that's a great conversation starter that we can have with those individuals and see if they're in need of any other resources or treatment. I'll let you take a look around, but again, it's set up much like our street medics, just not as much stuff. We do have one of the new power cots that we can transport on. If we encounter individuals that are mobile challenged, this makes it easier to get them in and out of the vehicle as well as the stair chair itself.
Hello, I'm Officer Rachel Thomas with the Columbus Division of Police. I've been on the REACT task force for a number of years now, and REACT stands for the Rapid Response Emergency Addiction Crisis Team. With me today, I have Tara, who is one of our REACT alumni. So we're going to talk a little bit about Tara and our truck here and what we're doing with this project. Tara, can you introduce yourself and talk a little bit about what REACT alumni is?
Absolutely. So my name is Tara Hoover. I became a REACT alumni member back in 2019. It was my first time coming up to Columbus. I'm originally from Brown County. And the way that I actually got involved in REACT is through a mutual friend. I was having a lot of trouble back home trying to find a treatment program that I could go to or get any kind of help. I was no longer involved with the court systems, so the legal option was not there for assisting me. And in Brown County, they don't have a whole lot of treatment. There's no detox, there's no facilities that were down there at the time. I remember getting off the bus and there was a fire cruiser, I think it would be, or like a police station cruiser. It kind of freaked me out a little bit, not gonna lie, just due to my own personal history with officers and stuff like that. But the guys that met me were so nice and so very welcoming. You know, they let me sit up in the front so that I didn't feel like I was trapped in the back. They transported me up to Maryhaven, where they got me into a detox bed. While I was there, you know, members of REACT came and they spoke to me about what I wanted to do from here. And they offered all these different services and told me about all kinds of different treatment programs that I could go into. And I wound up choosing one. And I went there. And I'm not gonna lie, I got into a little bit of trouble when I was there. I didn't do recovery perfectly the first time, or even the third or fourth, or even the 17th time. It took me a while to get there, but through every relapse, through every hardship, it was always REACT that I went to first for help, because I knew that they would help me without judging me. They were never the people that were like, oh, did it get any better out there, when I would call them back up, because they already knew it didn't. That feeling of acceptance was something that I wasn't used to. That feeling of pure unconditional love, even when I wasn't my best version, was something that I had never experienced, and it's something that I wanted to hold on to. While I was in treatment, the REACT events that they held every single month were something that was the highlight for me to continue to go to, just to build up support. I think the most impactful thing that REACT ever did was when I had lost my sister to an overdose. The weeks leading up to it, they had been helping secure her a bed date at another facility, and we couldn't find a facility that would take both of us together because we were siblings. So I had a bed date that was arranged, my sister had a bed date that was arranged, mine was a week before hers. You know, REACT helped get me into that program. I went in, and a week later I got the phone call that my sister had passed away. When they broke the news to me, it was the REACT team that came with my sponsor and a lot of my sober support, and they just held me while I experienced what that loss and that hardship felt like. And it was nice to know that I wasn't alone. When I went back home for the funeral, there was a lot of REACT alumni that drove with me to go home, and that was a lot. It was like a 2.5-hour drive. So to see people willing to do that for someone that they never met, just because of the bond that we had created through REACT, that was something special. The REACT team even sent my family flowers on behalf of my sister, and you know, my mom still has that card, and she still has the flowers that she had pressed into a book, because even she could not fathom that people who had never met anybody else in my family other than me cared that much. Once when I got out of treatment and had kind of moved out on my own, that constant contact is something that I always have. Now that I'm working in the field, I get to see REACT from the clinical side and what they do, and it is beautiful. A lot of times, a lot of my clients are brought in by the REACT team, and the first thing that they'll say is, I've never had somebody be so nice to me. I've never had somebody that has worked that hard to help me. While REACT's been there through all of my hardships, they've also supported me through all of my accomplishments, right? So I gained my peer support licensure, got my CDCA, started working in the field, went back to school. I'm about a month away from earning my degree right now, which puts me probably about another 3 or 4 months away from earning my LCDC. And that was something that I never thought I would be able to do, and it was the encouragement from REACT members that really helped me believe in myself and helped me believe that I could be something more than just an addict, that I would be able to have a positive impact, and that I could change the way that the world saw me, regardless of what my past was. This transport van right here is phenomenal. I can't tell you how many times I have had to call the squad for my friends that were overdosing, and they didn't really have anywhere to take them. They didn't really have anywhere to do anything with them. They just, here's some Narcan, hope you're okay. This gives people a different opportunity to make that split-second decision when you first wake up. I can take you somewhere now. And that now matters in this lifestyle, because many of us always say, I'll get clean tomorrow. I'll make the phone call tomorrow. I'll go to treatment tomorrow. But when you have an opportunity, when you've just faced something as traumatic as an overdose, and you're waking up not knowing where you are or what happened to you, and you get that initial fear, having somebody there that's like, hey, I can take you now and get you that help, that's gonna save so many lives. And I know that it already has. It's one of the things that saved my life. It just took me a little longer to get here.